Hey, what's going on, family? This is your boy, Reverend Josh at Digital Discipleship TV, and this is your first relevant resource review here on Digital Discipleship TV. As a college pastor, I am always looking for books and for resources for our college students and our young adults. And today I want to review a book that I think every graduating high school senior, every college student, every potential graduate student must have in their library, outside of the Bible, of course, going into the next school year. And that is a book that was written by Anthony O'Neill and Rachel Cruze, entitled The Graduate Survival Guide: 5 Mistakes You Can't Afford to Make in College. And you can get that, you can take a look at that rather at the link that's in the description box. Now, it is written by 2 authors. The first is Anthony O'Neill, who I sort of was following. He was a youth pastor for a time in Jacksonville, Florida, and is now a member of the Ramsey Solutions team, where he goes around the country encouraging students nationwide as a Ramsey personality around making good decisions in life and in finance. And the co-author is Rachel Cruze, who is the daughter of Dave Ramsey, but is also an author and a financial activist in her own right. And in just over 100 pages, they provide 5 mistakes that you can't afford to make in college. Or in my case, as I was reading it, I was thinking about my graduate school experience. The book focuses primarily on financial responsibility and strategies for every student, every young adult. And it's a mix of the stories of Anthony's own life and Rachel's life, as well as proven financial strategies from the Ramsey Group, statistics, as well as a mix of stories from recent college graduates that helps to drive home their point. For me, I could relate to a lot of the financial pitfalls that were described in the book as somebody who made terrible financial decisions as a part of my undergrad and my graduate experience, graduate school experience. And for me, I think that it is so valuable because of the information that is provided. Some of the most important parts of the book are discussions around student loans and how each type of student loan works in general. There's some conversation around, of course, credit card debt. There's some conversation around the truth about your credit score, your FICO score, as well as conversations around marketing that companies do and budgeting. But for me, I think what students can take from it that is most important is what they call the 5 foundations that they lay out in the book, which I won't tell you here. I want you to read the book, of course, but those 5 foundations are helpful not just for students, but I think for young adults who are out of school now but are trying to prepare for life and financial stability post their studies. Why do I love this book? First of all, I love the design of the book. I don't know if you can see it from the camera, but it is filled with a lot of beautiful images in the book. The font is great, but it's easy to read. You can sit down. I sat down and read it again for this review in one sitting today. So if you really want to, you could do it in one sitting. It's 100 pages, but they're easy to read, short text, and it's filled with practical principles that I think can help anybody, any student and any postgraduate student, any young person who is trying to get to a place of financial stability. So this book is full of practical principles, some of which reminded me of my own undergrad experience, particularly on the section where Anthony talks about how to do some inexpensive dating, because God knows I spent a whole lot of money, particularly freshman year, trying to impress on dates, when the reality is you can go as a student and have some incredible experiences without spending a whole lot of money. And it reminded me even of one date that I had at Howard where I spent about $5, but it was one of the best dates that I went on, where we went and just took the metro and went to see the monuments. So there are practical principles like that throughout the book that Anthony and Rachel lay out for students to think wisely about the way that they spend their money. I also love the book because of the bonuses that the book comes with. So you don't just get this book, but in the back of the book, there's a DVD that comes with it. There are digital downloads that you get, and I think that that is special, as well as the worksheets that are provided at the back of the book, where not only do they provide for you the principles that you need to learn, but they help you sit down with the worksheets that they provide in the book and do some of the stuff that they are telling you to do, like budgeting, like setting goals, through some of the resources that are provided in the back of the book. Now, what don't I like so much? Well, because it's 100 pages and it's an easy read, there are principles that are provided, but sometimes there were places where I wish they would go a little bit more in depth, particularly when they talk about getting scholarships and getting jobs as students. But there's enough practical principle throughout the book that I think that's far overshadowed, especially with the bonuses that they provide. That's far outweighed by the content that you get in the book when you get it. For me, it is a book that is essential for any young person who is about to graduate from high school, headed off to community college or to undergrad, and even for my graduate students that are, or my current college students who are headed to grad school, students who are currently in school, as well as those who are out of school but are still dealing with financial debt, whether that's credit card debt or student loan debt. I think that any young adult who picks up this book will be benefited by the principles that are provided in this book. I really don't plan to go back to school, knock on wood. However, there are principles provided in the book that I needed to highlight just as a young adult who's trying to be in a financially stable place. And I think that that's why this book is not just for students, but any young person, any young adult who is trying to get to a place of financial stability and responsibility. You can be blessed by this book. So you can check out this book on Amazon through the link below in the description box. And if you know a young person, or you are a young person that can benefit by some practical knowledge on financial stability and responsibility, please take a look at this book and share it with somebody else. Share this video with somebody else that you think it could help. And if you're new to our community at Digital Discipleship, we ask that you would consider subscribing by pressing the subscribe button and hit that little bell at the top of the view so that you can get notified whenever we have new content that comes to this page. So the question of the day for my Digital Discipleship family is this: what are some books that you are reading that have been helpful in your development, whether that is spiritually, whether that's financially, you're an entrepreneur, you're building a business? Tell me what you're reading. Put it in the comment section below, or as always, you can hit me on social media at Josh in Pursuit on Instagram and on Twitter, Snapchat, whatever the case may be, and we can converse there or in the comment box below. This is your boy, Reverend Josh. This is our first relevant resource review, and I hope that you will check out the book. It will be a blessing to you. And until next week on Digital Discipleship TV, this is your boy. Love you. Peace.